My next guest, who is Chris Lee, he's from Toronto. He's in Peru with his wife, their 2 children, and his wife's parents. They are in Peru. They had thought about going to Italy, but they thought Peru would be safe. It's turned out not to be. And there is Chris live in Cusco this morning. Chris, thank you for being a guest on our program, and good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, Heather.
Well, I'm really glad to meet you here. I've been beginning all of the conversations. It's a simple question, but it really gets to the core of things. How are you doing, Chris?
We're managing. We're doing okay. Just a little tired. It's been an exhausting couple days.
To say the least, I guess, trying to get home. The situation in Peru, well, there are particular things about your family I want to talk about, but I want to talk a little bit first about how you've ended up in a bit of an additional conundrum in Peru. I mentioned that you thought you'd go there rather than Italy because it seems safer. And then what has happened in Peru to change things?
The government just decided a couple days ago just to lock down. They announced it at 8 o'clock. We got the news pretty much 10:30, 11 o'clock our time. When we got the news, we just ran to the grocery store to try to stock up. We were told that the international borders here would close 24 hours after that, midnight yesterday. We've been scrambling all day yesterday to try to get out, but to no avail. We're still here.
Still there and still stuck as a result of the measures that Peru has taken. So what have you been trying to do then, Chris, to get everybody home? Have you reached out to the embassy, to consular officials? Tell me about that effort.
Yes, we have. So we were in touch with the ambassador. I think they were in touch with the Peruvian Foreign Ministry. We even had to try to charter a flight to get out of here. But where we are in Cusco, it's a little difficult. I think all the international flights were leaving from Lima. The police had barricaded the airport at Cusco. We couldn't get any flights out. So we're pretty much stuck. I mean, the Peruvian government told us we had 24 hours, but it seemed like there was no real option for us.
Lima's a good 21-hour drive, as I understand it, from where you are. So you can't fly out of where you are. So what then becomes what's the strategy? What's the plan then?
We were looking at many options, maybe even trying to cross the border to Bolivia, but thought that may be too much of a risk with our children and our in-laws. So we were just trying to catch a flight out of Cusco to Lima, but it just seemed like the police were barricading the airport, not allowing anyone to leave.
Children, 2, ages 5 and 7, how are they doing through all of this, Chris?
They're holding up okay. They're doing well, a little tired. They're not really understanding what's going on right now.
In which ignorance is bliss, perhaps. Are you having to explain anything to them, or they just think they're on this wonderfully long vacation?
We just told them yesterday that we're going to have to extend it. So they're assuming that we're going to just go, on a longer vacation. But the biggest concern is my in-laws right now because, they're both aging, not doing too well, especially my mother-in-law who is sick right now. So that's our biggest concern right now.
So as you're speaking to us, Chris, we're looking at a picture of your whole family there. And we see your wife and your children and you, and then your in-laws on both ends of the picture there. And your mother-in-law is, I understand, quite a focal point because she has Alzheimer's. How is she fixed for medication and things that she needs, and just the whole fact of being ill at this time of stress?
We are running out of medication. We only thought the trip would be up to 10 days. We did bring extra, but we didn't bring enough for this sort of lockdown. The embassy and the ambassador said that they will try to help us with medication, but really the biggest concern is not the medication. It's her condition with the Alzheimer's, dementia. With the news, when we were trying to scramble yesterday to try to get out, I think sort of sending her into a sort of a panic state. I think she just needs to get back into a very familiar environment. It was just very, very chaotic. So we're just all hoping for the best for her right now.
Well, as are we as we hear about that. Yes, she needs that familiar, she needs that routine with her condition. So hopefully you'll be able to have it soon. I don't know if you heard this, and I don't know if it's the big concern for you, but the Government of Canada, one of the things it did announce yesterday was it will be providing financial assistance to Canadians who are essentially stuck abroad, $5,000 to make additional travel arrangements. Is that something that would help, you feel it would help a bit with your family?
I'm sure it will help a bit. We haven't looked into it too much. We were just focused on trying to get out yesterday. So I guess starting today, we have to look at what options are available.
Whatever the cost, I'm sure, it just becomes a matter of getting home, specifically for your mother-in-law. Chris, listen, we've been saying to everybody, we'll keep in touch. We're concerned about you, happy to share your story, and hopefully all of your family well and home safely soon. Thank you very much, Chris.
Thanks for having me.
Chris Lee is in Cusco in Peru.